I don't think anybody in the world knows how to answer this question, okay? This is a foundation GCSE maths question. I've also seen this question on 11 plus papers, 13 plus papers. Go and ask an adult this question and not a single one of your parents is going to know how to do this question. So people are just going to be like, come on, 2 marks, easy, it's 3 or 9. And they're just going to put an answer down and be like, that was really hard. Both of these answers are wrong. I've got a trick for how to do this. It's a little bit sneaky. I'm going to show you my technique, okay? Are you guys familiar with my ladder method? Okay, this is something that I think is so important to get your head around. The ladder is so important across the whole paper, and it is any time that 2 things are equivalent. So 2 people, 6 hours. So this is people, this is hours. And always in a ladder, you do the same thing to the left and the right. So you like double them both or something like that. The only time you don't do the same thing to both arrows is in this particular question, where you do the opposite. So let me just very quickly explain. This is called like inverse proportion. So these 2 things are not proportional, because if you put more people into a room, it would take less time to paint it, if you see what I mean. So that's the thing that people can't get their heads around. People think 2 people, it takes 2 people 6 hours, so how long does it take 4 people? They're like 12 hours, double it. You're like, yeah, but think about it doesn't make any sense. You've got more people, it's going to be less time. So what we're trying to do here is change this 2 to a 3. So I know that 2 people are 6 hours, and I want to know what 3 people are. And all you've got to do is you can times and divide. So when you're using a ladder, you can times or divide. Now, people might think it's too difficult to go from 2 to 3. What am I timesing by? Oh, it's not on the 2 times table. So it's a really handy hack, especially on a non-calculated paper, where you can go through 1. And I know people are finding this a bit tricky. Okay, I know it's like, what are you doing, Rob? What's this 2 to 1? But this exact method comes up time and time again, and you just make one tweak to make it work for this specific inverse proportion question, and the question becomes actually quite simple. So the question is, how do you get from 2 to 1? And then how do I get from 1 to 3? Now this is so much easier. So how do I get from 2 to 1? Timesing or dividing? Very nice. You divide by 2. And just remember what I said, it's only in this inverse proportion question, but you do the opposite on the other side. So you don't divide by 2, you times by 2. Okay, you times by 2. So 6 goes up to 12. Now, see if you can use the same argument to see if you can get the answer. And I want you guys just to take a second to try and do this yourselves. Just ask yourself, how do I get from 1 to 3? And you're not adding 2. Remember, this ladder thing only works for timesing or dividing. Okay, so how do I get from 1 to 3? Think about what you do there, like timesing by something. And then on here, you divide by the same thing. So you do the opposite. I know this is odd, okay, but you times by 3. To get from 1 to 3, you times by 3. So over here, you divide by 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. The answer is 4 hours. Give this question to anyone. I promise you, they're just not going to know how to do it.